Our first guest, Hattie Dynevor, is no stranger to some of our panel, and her mum is a loose woman as well, Corrie's Sally Dynevor. She's followed in mum's acting footsteps, and she's currently involved in a shocking storyline exploring teen coercive control in drama Waterloo Road. Amazing. Look, well, let's address that, because that was some very tough scenes to watch there. I don't know if you're aware, but on Loose Women we've been doing this Facing It Together campaign, which is obviously about domestic violence, but very much a big part of that is coercive control. And I think you and I share the same thing. I didn't realise it was a big thing among teenagers, and there is a statistic we were looking at, which I think 49% of teenagers in relationships have experienced
49%?
some level of either physical or mental abuse in a relationship. Is that something that you looked into yourself?
Yeah, well, like, going into the storyline, I thought I knew everything about it. I thought I was really prepared, but then listening to all the stats and how, like, big it is in teenage relationships was so shocking to me, as I only thought it happened in older relationships or marriages, but hearing how many teenagers go through.
And also, of course, social media has opened the floodgates to that. That genie's out the bottle, so it's a bit like any kind of bullying. It doesn't just end at the end of the day when you're not physically with that person. It's going on all the time. But you and the lad who plays your partner in that, you've also done a short documentary. What happened with that?
We went into a school and this with the charity Let Me Know, and who campaigned for making this a subject in schools, and it should be spoken about, because watching the storyline back is that was Libby's first relationship, and if she'd have spotted the signs and been educated on that, then it could prevent it from happening.
Also, you wouldn't know what to compare it to, would you? At that age, it's absolutely terrifying.
What was it like for you playing that role and doing the research?
It was really difficult. Going to such dark places every day was really hard. But ultimately, watching it back, it is really rewarding, and I hope we've done it the subject justice, really.
I'm so proud of you as your Auntie Den, and believe you me, she's a fantastic actress, because she's a little bubbly ball of fire in normal life, aren't you?
I'm just interested with some of those scenes that you did. Presumably you used stunt doubles.
Yeah.
And how was that?
The physical
scenes...
your
first stunts.
Yeah. The physical scenes were, like, the hardest to film, because, you know, you had all the lines to remember, and then, like, it's like a dance routine. So, ultimately, like, that was the hardest day for filming the scene. That episode's out tomorrow.
Right.
And there is that classic lie in the storyline, isn't there, where he sort of does that thing of, I only do this because I care for you. I'm the only person.
I do this, but you make me do it because I love you so much.
And they isolate everyone around you. They don't care for you as much as I do.
Yeah, and you believe that they love you and they're doing it to help you. So that's why you're so trapped in that
And did you
world.
get a lot of support at Waterloo Road? Was there people there on hand to talk to and you know, make sure you were all right doing it?
Yeah, we had a counsellor who was there on set with us, which was really helpful.
Amazing.
Especially, like, breaking for lunch, everyone was just, like, you know, back to normal, laughing. But it was hard for us because we'd have to go back into that place, so it was almost easier to stay in it all day.
And has big sister Phoebe from LA, has she managed to see any of your wonderful performance?
Yeah, she's watched it.
Has she?
Yeah. Yeah, she watched it.
Hattie went recently because her sister is Phoebe Dynevor, who obviously became huge during Bridgerton and now is doing all sorts of movies, and it's very exciting. But she took you with her to Paris Fashion Week, didn't she?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. It's a whole different world. I met Emma Stone.
Oh, she loved Emma Stone.
The coolest thing ever. We're both Scorpios. So we were, like, bonding over that, and she was so funny.
It must feel weird sitting here, because, sorry, because I was going to bring you in, actually. I just touched your breast.
Go for it.
A bit forward of me.
She quite likes that, if I remember the olden days.
Anyway, moving on. Obviously, your mum, Sally, who has been on this panel many times, and Eileen Grimshaw, who's literally just left Corrie. But you grew up with Corrie, didn't you?
Yeah.
Part of your life.
But not only did you grow up from Corrie, if I get this right, I mean, you had... Your grandfather was a director on Corrie.
Yeah.
Your grandmother acted in Corrie and was also a floor manager.
Yeah.
And then your mum.
Yeah,
So
my grandma and grandpa met on Corrie.
Oh, yes.
And your mum and dad met on Corrie
through
as well?
my grandma. Yeah.
So what did your grandma play?
My grandma was like a runner.
Right.
Like a floor runner. And then she met my grandpa, and then my mum met my dad through my grandma had invited her over for dinner. It was like, you have to meet my son Tim, and then they all had a dinner party, and that's how they met.
And Den and I can remember that day when she came in not expecting to be having another one, and then this beauty was born.
I remember.
So would you like to end up on Corrie as well, or do you sort of you're just going to go wherever the work is?
Yeah, I mean, I would never rule it out.
Yeah.
But I'm just focusing on Waterloo Road at the moment. But yeah, definitely. Maybe
Well, the world's your oyster.
It absolutely is. I can't wait to see your career soar. Very proud of you.
And you and your mum are good mates, aren't you? What did you do for Mother's Day?
She's like my best friend. We did a walk and went for a pub lunch, and it was lovely.
And then how did you spend the afternoon, the best part?
With Denise on the train.
Thank you.
With my second mum.
Oh, well, Hattie, thank you so much. And, you know, a very tough but important storyline that you're doing there. And you can see it on the series finale of Waterloo Road, and that's tomorrow night at 9 o'clock on BBC One. Thank you very much, Hattie.